Hey, this is Skullgirdle and welcome to my transition back to a more gothic lifestyle. As we get older, things change. They just change. Life is, as one of my very wise teachers told me in high school, dynamic equilibrium. So while things can kind of stay the same, they have to change. And for some of us, our goals change. Like we might want to start a family, or we might want to start a business, we might want to further our career, or we might want to fucking hike through the Appalachians. You never know. So for me, I kind of went more that career route eventually. And along the way, I worked in 3 very conservative environments. First, I worked for a support company that was owned by a banking equipment maker, so that was kind of conservative. Then I worked for a school district in Texas. You might as well call it Southern Baptist School District. You want to talk conservative, was, yeah, you don't want to be different there, let me tell you. And then I worked for a banking software company, and those guys had the most conservative dress code I've ever seen outside of a uniform. We couldn't wear unprofessional colors. Of course, they didn't define them, so it was at somebody's discretion. So I guess if they didn't like you, then burgundy would be unprofessional. Dicks. But then I came to the job where I work now that's truly business casual in support. Because of course people like sales and people have to deal with customers because it's financial software. In the financial world, everybody has to be conservative and look like a little automaton. But in support, and I guess development, etc., where the weirdos sit, we actually have business casual. When I started at this job 3.5 years ago, I looked the most societally acceptable of my adult life. I wore colors and I had red hair that didn't look too fake. I knew it was fake. All us redheads help our hair as we age. And I just kind of looked normal. Middle-aged lady normal. So it took about 1.5 years, I think. Yeah, about 1.5 years for me to start pushing my boundaries a little bit and making my hair brighter. Luckily, I have a hairdresser that we work together to make this crazy shit that sits on my head satisfy old me and actually him as well. So it really pays to have an old punk goth dude doing your hair, man. Let me tell you, Danny, you rule. This is Danny at Billy Shears in Denton. Right about the time when I started going brighter with my hair, I was going out with friends to who cares where, and I went for a shirt to go with this pink skirt that I had made from leftovers from a costume that I loved, and have since destroyed. I wore it to death, so that's okay. And I wanted a black top, and I went and I grabbed this black top, and I was like, oh, maybe I should wear something different. And then I realized that I was down to 2 black tops, and the other one wasn't sufficient, so I had to wear this black top. And the one I was wearing was starting to get a little bit raggedy on the edges. Oh my God, 2 fucking black tops. I now have a black dress. I only had 1 pair of black leggings. I actually had blue jeans in my wardrobe. And hey, I still wear blue jeans sometimes, whoopity-doo-dah, but I hadn't worn them for years, actually. I didn't wear blue jeans when I was out of high school and college. I didn't own any. But you can see my wardrobe was like becoming largely colorful. And I was like, what the fuck? And it was like being smacked in the face, man. And so as my clothing wore out and as I wanted additional clothing, I've been buying black clothing for like 2 years. For 2 years, my wardrobe was almost fully transitioned. Pretty close, and I have some colorful things I'm not giving up because I like them, and I'm keeping that orange, green, and pink paisley dress because fuck you, that's why. During this time, and for actually the last 7 years, I've also been recollecting some of the music that I listened to when I was younger or throughout my life that I didn't know what it was because it didn't have labels, or just because I had lost it along the way. I moved a lot when I was younger. So all those LPs were heavy, and unfortunately they all got warped and fucked up because there were a few in there I'm sure will be worth a couple bucks. Let's move on now, I'm sad. So this has been a really long process with a huge burst in the last 8 months, right? I was like, oh, what the hell? So in June, I finally went to the crazy hair. Whee! And I'll be honest, I used my dance troupe's performance at Acon anime convention to justify, which is stupid because I don't have to justify anything to anyone, but apparently I did to myself. And realized after I did that I'm not gonna get fired. Oh, the power of that. To realize that, and I'm good at my job, okay? That's part of it. But to realize that you're not gonna get fired for being a little bit weird, or I guess the company weirdo now. I'm okay with that. It's a powerful thing, y'all. It is a powerful thing to realize that you're not gonna get fired for being different. And it is also an amazing thing. It does come with its costs, but I'll get to those in a minute. So in June, I also got a camera for my videos. And if you look at my old videos, you see there's a bunch of gaming videos, and there may not even be that many that actually have my face in them, because not long after I got my camera, I made my first unboxing for a friend, and people actually really liked it. So you can see how it's kind of evolved, because I feel like this channel is more organic, and I will go where things are most appreciated that also fulfill myself. At the time in June when I'd gone with the crazy hair, I had felt like shit for a very long time due to colitis and injuring my right foot like a year before that, and going through off and on crippling pain from those two situations. And so I was very dissatisfied with my life and how I looked, etc., etc. So it took me like 2 to 3 weeks to figure out just what I want to fucking look like on camera. And I guess, I don't know what really brought it around. I think I had collected some music, and I started looking for my music on YouTube because I was like, oh man, yeah, there's all this shit on YouTube. Why am I not looking there? And I found some Gothic channels, and I've just always been so in love with the fully Gothic look, like the white face, that romantic look, all that stuff. And so I decided that I was gonna look like that, but I didn't want to be fake. So I was like, well, I'm doing it. I'm doing it right this time. And it feels, honestly, I'm not trying to get too fucking emotional on you here, like coming home, like a place that I should have been all along. Sorry, I'm getting all misty about it. Because I just had never really looked exactly the way I wanted to and the way I'd always dreamed of looking. So this, as much as it may look flawed to other people, I could give a shit, is how I feel like I should look. And I have found more satisfaction with my life in the last few months based on, I mean, it's not just a look, y'all. I said lifestyle, I meant it. I pulled my dollies back out. I have some living dead dollies. They are terrifying to some people, but I love them so much. I've got all my little tchotchkes on display where I can see them. I'm listening to more dark things. I've been reading a Gothic novel series, etc., etc., etc. But more importantly, engaging with Gothic people in positive ways, which is absolutely wonderful. And I've had to do most of it online, but I've also discovered that I have friends that are, we'll call them former Goths, because we all know when you really have this in you, it's never former. And at my job, I got lucky and they hired someone very, very darkly, morbidly humorous to sit next to me. Hey! So the thing is that not everybody's gonna react well. My closest friends were very excited. I have one friend who I was like, well, I'm just gonna be more gothic. And she laughed out loud in my face. Thanks a lot, Angela. You've met her in that cake video, that bitch. But when I reiterated, well, I'm gonna look more gothic, she's like, oh, well, that makes sense. Because you know that if you've ever heard the goth not goth person, that's always been me. You're gonna do a transition at your job. You gotta be good at your job, first of all. But people are still gonna treat you different on some levels. And it's not gonna be the people you really care about, probably. Like, there's one woman who treats me now like I'm dumb. Like, not on her level, maybe? I don't know. Some people think this is a bad choice. Not a different choice, but a bad choice. I consider it a differently aesthetic choice than other people would make. And there's one woman who no longer even looks at me. We used to have conversations. We've had lots of conversations about different kinds of food and stuff because we're both adventurous eaters. And now she will look away if I try to say hello. So I'm just like, okay, I guess we really weren't friends. But that's fine. That's fine because I still have my support network and I'm still doing great. I still have my job. I'm still achieving. I still have the respect of the people that I require to have the respect to do my job. So there you go. Kind of worked out for me. I can't say whether it'll work out for you if you are wanting to transition into a darker look, if you will have to do it more conservatively than me, because this is how, can you see? This is how I actually wear my eyebrows to work. I don't generally wear a lot of makeup because I work at 6 in the morning and it's painful every fucking day because I'm a night person. But you can see it's not real conservative. And when I don't have my eyebrows like this, they are shaved off and drawn on with eyeliner, which I guess freaks some people out. And I don't care. That's on them. If you're going to treat someone differently and think they're stupid because they look differently than you, then you're missing out, man. So, there. Yeah, that was a tough reaction. And it's just, you know, this is all about me. This look, this change, this is all about me. Whether I want to talk to other people within the Gothic lifestyle is about me wanting to talk to people or make connections with people who think a little bit more like me. So I hope if you decide to transition to a more dark look at your job, that you have as much success as I have, because I have been really lucky. I haven't lost respect of the people who I work with most closely. And that, I think, is where it's lucky, because that is highly possible when you're working in the financial industry, because those people really got a stick up their butt. Wow. But hey, I really appreciate you spending the time to watch my videos. And that's the long version of thanks for watching. Until next time.